A rumor has resurfaced that sent shivers down the spine of every team. Principal not named Toto Wolff. We're talking about the unthinkable, Max Verstappen to Mercedes. Yes, you heard that right. The reigning champion, potentially swapping the comforts of Milton Keynes for the silver arrows, leaving Toto with a rather unenviable headache. Who gets the chomp? Russell or Antonelli? It's a proper pickle, isn't it? A rumor has resurfaced that sent shivers down the spine of every team. Principal not named Toto Wolff. We're talking about the unthinkable, Max Verstappen to Mercedes. Yes, you heard that right. The reigning champion, potentially swapping the comforts of Milton Keynes for the silver arrows, leaving Toto with a rather unenviable headache. Who gets the chomp? Russell or Antonelli? It's a proper pickle, isn't it? Now, Toto Wolff has been nothing if not tenacious, right? He's been on Max's trail for almost a year, and it looks like his persistence is finally paying off. The Mercedes board, including Ola Kalenius, has reportedly given the green light for this bold move, even if it means shelling out a staggering $125 million. And they're not just offering him a seat. We're talking NAN F1 contract add-ons, premium marketing deals, even backing Max's GT3 program. They're literally rolling out the silver carpet for him. While Mercedes contemplates its future, Red Bull's empire is frankly trembling. The once invincible car is faltering, and the confidence in their technical prowess is, shall we say, a bit wobbly. This all stems from a series of seismic departures. First, the rather unceremonious sacking of Christian Horner on Tangle Pemmicaton Horner, leaving a vacuum of leadership and a whole lot of questions about internal power struggles. Then, adding insult to injury, the confirmed departure of design guru Adrian Newey, losing the man who drew up your championship-winning machines. That's akin to a chef losing his secret recipe. The team is now, regrettably, in flux. This internal turmoil isn't just paddock gossip. It's tangible on track. Max Verstappen, ever the perfectionist, has stated loud and clear that he's not happy with the development of the RB21 car and the technical upgrades being introduced. The aura of invincibility surrounding him is cracking. He's currently 69 points adrift in the championship, and Red Bull is down to P4 in the constructors. For a driver obsessed with performance and legacy, seeing his prime years potentially wasted on a faltering team is simply unacceptable. Max won't be part of Red Bull's downfall if it continues, and honestly, who could blame him? All signs point to Max eyeing greener pastures. The alleged coincidence of Max and Toto Wolff being in Sardinia, with private jets and yachts tracked in the same waters, is just too much to believe. It screams clandestine meeting, and Wolff himself has been crystal clear. He's going to chase Verstappen for as long as he's available, regardless of his current drivers. This relentless pursuit is backed by a crucial detail. Max's contract with Red Bull has a performance clause. If he's outside the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship before the summer break, he could trigger an exit. This, of course, puts George Russell in a truly precarious position. Our Mr. Consistency, a race winner in 2025, has been a loyal Mercedes servant, battling through tough years with Williams and proving his mettle against Lewis Hamilton. His recent win in Canada highlighted his capability with a competitive car. Yet knowing Toto Wolff will chase Max regardless of his drivers must be a bitter pill to swallow for Russell. It raises the awkward question: is loyalty truly valued in F1? Or is it merely a suggestion when a bigger prize comes along? While Russell is reportedly in advanced talks for a contract extension until 2027, the ongoing Verstappen-Wolff saga has clearly complicated matters. Then there's young Kimi Antonelli, Mercedes Golden Junior talent, waiting in the wings. His debut season has been a mixed bag, with adaptation difficulties despite flashes of brilliance. Toto Wolff has been fiercely protective of Antonelli, viewing him as a valuable future asset. However, the fear is that pairing him directly with a force of nature like Verstappen might stifle his burgeoning development. Hence the strong rumor of a temporary loan to Alpine for Kimi, a sort of finishing school where he can gain experience, especially with Alpine getting Mercedes engines in 2026. It's a bitter pill, but perhaps a necessary one for his long-term growth, saving him from the crushing pressure of a direct Max comparison. So, if Max 2 Mercedes is happening and Russell is suddenly on the market, where does he land? Former F1 driver Johnny Herbert has already suggested Russell's most realistic landing spots are Aston Martin or Alpine. Aston, though seemingly full, could consider him as a long-term replacement for Fernando Alonso, or if Lance Stroll takes a step back. Alpine, less competitive, but with a vacant seat next to Pierre Gasly, could offer a home. But here's the ultimate twist. Red Bull might even consider Russell if Verstappen leaves. Russell replacing the man who replaced Hamilton as F1's alpha driver. That's a headline that writes itself. And all of this is going to ravage Red Bull. The Austrian team are going to suffer a lot from the latest changes, and they might be forced to rebuild from ground zero, potentially promoting 2 drivers from their youth team, like Ishak Hajar and Arvid Lindblad. This is a low-risk, high-reward scenario where they'd see raw talent, but perhaps lack immediate experience. Red Bull has tons of headaches right now, and Max Verstappen holds the solution to all of them. But at the end of the day, they've brought this to themselves. Another team to watch closely is Cadillac. The American squad are dubbed to sign Bottas or Perez as veteran drivers. But they could also sign Mick Schumacher, who's been looking for a redemption story since Haas sacked him in 2022. Mick has experience with driving Ferrari engines for Haas, and Cadillac might see him as a strong option from the youth pool, who has a lot to prove. All of this is putting the entire silly season in a very great position for us to watch, and frankly, we can't wait to see who ends up where. It's a whirlwind of whispers and veiled threats, with contracts seemingly worth less than a used set of Pirelli tires. Every team principal is either sweating profusely or sharpening their knives, as the driver market chessboard gets a rather violent shake. This isn't just about who's fast, it's about who's politically astute, who holds the real power, and frankly, who's brave enough to make the first move in this high-stakes game of F1 poker. I think you already understood who the biggest loser here is: Red Bull. They are falling apart on every side possible, and they have no idea what's going to happen in the following period. Because of the instability that is still present in the internal circles of the team, Max Verstappen holds the solution to all of Red Bull's headaches. But at the end of the day, they've brought this to themselves. If Max chooses to leave, this entire chessboard gets flipped. Mercedes would gain the best driver, Red Bull would lose its crown jewel. Russell would be left scrambling, and the entire F1 driver market could explode. With all this in mind, what transfer do you think will raise the most questions and shock everyone on the grid? And more importantly, do you believe that Max and Mercedes is a duo bound to happen? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.